My name is Regina, and in this video, we are gonna harvest all this garlic. So, the garlic in my garden was planted back in October, and it is finally time to reap the rewards. This is my very first time growing garlic, so I am so excited about this. I actually planted the garlic kind of on an impulse. Last season, I was kind of sad when I was making my salsa and stuff, and I didn't have any garden-grown garlic to go with all the other garden fresh ingredients. And so I did a little research on how to grow garlic and found out it was not the correct time during the summer, so I kind of put it in the back of my mind. Then later on, in the fall, I looked it up again and I realized at the time I was researching it, it was actually time to plant. So I purchased garlic bulbs from the grocery store. I think I got them at Walmart, and planted those bulbs in just a few square feet in my garden. Let's see how many to be exact. 9 square feet in my garden, I planted garlic bulbs. And I used very intense spacing method, so I believe I planted like 12 bulbs per square foot. And now we get to see those results. So just so that you know, the garlic that you find in the grocery store, most of it is soft neck culinary garlic. I'm not sure of the exact variety, but that is the overarching variety. I am not a garlic expert by any means, as you could probably tell. But I planted the garlic and just let it go. Now, from what I've experienced, garlic is one of the easiest, if not the easiest thing to grow ever, because I literally planted this garlic. It was mid to late October. I wasn't doing YouTube then, so I don't have video of me planting it, but I do have some photos of what it looked like when it first sprouted. It sprouted in about a week and a half. I could see actual green sprouts sprouting up out of the ground, and after that it just grew. Like I fertilized it when I fertilized my other brassicas that were in the bed, and when I replanted brassicas because it's in my brassica bed, and watered it when I watered everything else, and that was it. It just grew and I left it alone. So I used to think that okra was the easiest thing that I grew because I literally just direct sow it, let it go, harvest, because it loves this Texas heat. But I think garlic is even easier than that, because with okra, I did have to deal with some aphids and a little powdery mildew on some of the leaves. With garlic, there was none of that. No pest bothered it. It just grew. I left it alone, and now I get to harvest. Now, it's not quick. It is May, mid-May, and I planted it back in mid-October, so it takes several months to mature, but it is definitely easy. So if you are a gardener, even if you're gardening in a small space, if you're not growing garlic, you need to grow some this fall. Look up when it is the best time to plant it in your region. If you're in North Texas like me, it's October or early November. And you're gonna have some garlic, and you can probably grow enough that garlic is something you will never have to grow again. So tips for planting garlic. Generally, the larger the clove, the larger the bulb it's gonna make. So if you're determining which cloves to plant, choose the bigger ones and then use the smaller ones for cooking and choose the bigger ones to plant. When you plant it, you wanna plant it the pointy side up, the root side down into the ground. Now I'll do a full kind of garlic planting video once I'm planting my next batch, but in case I haven't done this yet, by the time you need to plant garlic, I wanted to give you a few tips. So pointy side up, the flat side, the side where it looks like the roots were, that side down. And you want it to be buried about 1 inch into the ground. So you want about 1 inch of soil on top of the garlic. And then you want to water it in and keep it moist while it's growing. And from there, water, you want to fertilize, give it a nice, I used a more high nitrogen fertilizer on it. So it still had, you know, a significant amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, but it was a little higher nitrogen, mainly because it's in my brassica bed, and that's what I use there. So, but I fertilized it, essentially when I fertilize my other brassicas, every few months with the slow release granular. If you're using a water soluble, you might do something a little different, but I use mostly granular fertilizers just because they're so much easier and I have to fertilize less frequently, but kept it watered, and then I kind of set it and forget it. Now, once you see your garlic starting to brown and it's about ready to harvest, that's when you want to stop watering it. And that's just so that it's a little drier when it's time to harvest, because you're going to try to dry out the garlic anyway in order to cure it. So you don't want it sitting in water and rotting. that's when you stop watering it and kind of let it sit when you know it's about ready to come out. And then for harvesting, as you'll see me do, you want to use a shovel to harvest the garlic rather than just pulling on it. One, because it doesn't pull up very easily. Onions are a lot easier to pull, even though you should use a shovel with them. But the garlic, because it's deeper in the ground, you want to use a shovel so you don't damage the outer layers of the garlic while you're harvesting. All right, so I'm sure you guys are tired of me talking and you just want to see the results, so here you go. But before we do, if you've watched other of my videos and you find this content helpful or you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so that you'll be alerted every time I post a new video. And of course, if you found this content helpful so far, go ahead and hit that like button to help this video get out to more gardeners. I would really appreciate it. So now, let's get into it. Harvesting garlic, you do want to dig it rather than pull it so you don't damage the outer wrapper of the garlic, because that is what is going to help the garlic preserve for longer. Look at that. Now, the reason I know this garlic is ready to harvest is because of the fact that you harvest garlic when, well, this is a soft neck variety for one. It's different for hard neck varieties. They will grow a scape and there are other indicators. But for a soft neck variety of garlic, you harvest it when about half of the leaves, starting at the bottom, are brown. You don't wait until they're all brown because that means all the protective wrappers are not intact. You harvest it when about 50% of the leaves have browned. So that's what we have here. And then I noticed some of it was falling over. And so that was the impetus to me that I really needed to get this garlic out of the ground. But that's how you know. So let's get this going. So I'm using my little hand shovel here to dig it out. Try not to harm my time. Look at these bulbs, y'all. Oh, this one's tiny. Wow, this one is huge. Look at that. This is just the first square foot of garlic, y'all. So, I am gonna, now, I'm just gonna fast forward to the end. Okay, I got the garlic all laid out. You can see it behind me. Sorry if you hear the air conditioner, but here it is. Look at that. I'll give you a closer look. You zoom on in there, take a look. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So, I took a look. It is 116 bulbs of garlic of varying sizes. For instance, I have some that are this big. in reference to my hand, I have big hands, by the way, in case you're wondering, but in reference to my hand, this size, and then I have some that are itty bitty, this size. But most of them fall somewhere in between. I have quite a few large ones, some small ones, most of them are in between. But they're all garlic and they will all get eaten. Now, is this a year's worth of garlic? I don't know. I don't know if 116 bulbs is gonna last us a year. I put garlic in pretty much everything I cook. Y'all, I'm sweating like a mug out here. I put garlic in pretty much everything that I cook, but I don't use a whole, bulb of it every time I cook. So maybe, that wasn't even the aim to grow a year's worth. I just wanted to grow some, but maybe. So 116 bulbs of garlic from 9 square feet. So you have space to grow garlic. If you like to cook with garlic, I recommend you grow it. It might be one of those things that you can grow and never buy again, because I love doing that. I'm just like that. Like, I started gardening years ago, but last year was my first year with this full-size garden that I have now, because I've just been expanding it little by little over time. And now I'm at the point where there are certain things that I grow that I'm like, I want to be able to grow enough of that I never have to buy it. And for this past year, garlic wasn't one of those because it was my first time. But now, from now on, it definitely will be. So I'll see how long this lasts. And when I plant in October, I'll definitely plant more. But, this was, like I said, 9 square feet. So maybe I'll double that. Maybe I'll just do about 15 square feet worth of garlic and see how that goes this season, because I don't need twice as much. Maybe about 50% more. We'll see how long it lasts. I'll keep you guys updated. But either way, worth growing, super easy, really fun. I'm geeked about this garlic, y'all. How fun. Grow you some garlic. All right, that's enough. So at this point, the garlic has been sitting out in the sun all day. The dirt on it is starting to dry up. That is just to kind of remove some of the initial moisture. Now these are headed into the garage to lay flat on a little rack that I have in there in order to cure for the next probably about 2 weeks. It's nice and warm in my garage, so it'll probably be a pretty quick process. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you found the content helpful and that it's something that has encouraged you to grow this great culinary masterpiece. If you love garlic as much as me, you definitely need to be growing it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like. I'd really love to know that you liked the video, and of course that helps it get out to more gardeners. And of course, subscribe to my channel so that you never miss an update. Until we meet again, have a great one. Bye.